Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're diving straight into a massive shift in how we actually build products. For the longest time, the barrier to entry wasn't that we lacked good ideas, the bottleneck was the technical execution. But AI is completely rewriting those rules, especially when we talk about design accessibility. We're going to break down how Figma Make is teaming up with Claude to turn everyday prompts into actual working prototypes. It's literally empowering non-technical creators to just build. This is all about stripping the friction right out of the creative process, and I seriously cannot wait to unpack this with you all.
Okay, let's dive into this. The act of design, trying to convey a feeling, only humans can do that. I love this quote. When we talk about AI and product development, it is so easy to get lost in the algorithms, the automation, the whole tech side of it all. But we have to remember something absolutely crucial. The foundation of any great product is undeniably human. Technology is moving at breakneck speed, sure, but creating a product that actually resonates with people, that comes down to conveying a specific emotion or solving a very real human problem. The AI is just the engine, right? The human feeling is the steering wheel.
So Section 1, the human element of design. The core of our story today is really about taking this human feeling and finding a way to execute it with zero friction.
Now, think about this. For decades, having a brilliant idea and being able to actually build it were two completely different skill sets. If you were on a product team, you might know exactly how you wanted the user to feel, but if you couldn't speak the language of the machine, your idea was basically stuck. But let's talk about taste. Taste is that uniquely human ability to convey a feeling and envision a design. And what's so game-changing about Figma Make and Claude teaming up is that every single person in your organization who has that taste is now empowered to enact it. You literally don't have to wait on the engineering department anymore just to see if a concept feels right in practice. If you've got the vision and you've got the taste, this tech lets you bring it to life easier than ever before. It's totally democratizing the actual creation process.
Let's move to Section 2, bridging design and code, and see how this builds into removing those traditional bottlenecks product teams always face.
And this brilliantly illustrates the classic tug-of-war we've seen since the dawn of software development. On one side, you've got the canvas. This is the realm of ideas, conveying that feeling, exercising your tastes. Then, on the other side, you have the code, which demands rigid, pixel-perfect execution tailored exactly to what developers need. For years, bridging that gap, translating what's on a creative canvas into code a developer can actually use, has been incredibly painful. Things just get lost in translation. The feeling gets compromised to fit technical constraints. It's a constant friction that drains resources, slows down innovation, and honestly just frustrates both sides of the team.
So how do we actually solve this? Well, Figma spent a ton of time trying to figure out how to translate a canvas directly into pixel-perfect code that a developer can just pick up and use. And what they found is that Claude is an evidently superior coding model for powering Figma Make. It's pretty wild. It doesn't just know code better than most models out there. The absolute key here is that it produces code developers actually want to write. It's not spitting out messy, unusable junk. It generates a really clean starting point that seamlessly bridges that gap between the creative canvas and the engineering team.
That brings us to Section 3, empowering non-technical creators. No code required.
This shifts our focus directly to the non-technical folks on the product team. We're talking project managers, marketers, researchers, or even those visionary founders who historically just didn't have the weapons to execute their ideas. It begs a very direct and very important question. What if you don't know how to code? Imagine you have a crystal clear vision for a future that could totally revolutionize your user experience, but you're completely dependent on someone else's schedule and interpretation just to build a basic prototype. It's incredibly frustrating, right? That single question has historically been the biggest barrier to rapid innovation within a company.
But I want you to listen to this incredible soundbite from our source material.
I don't code, I really don't have to, in order to create the things I want to do.
That, right there, is easily one of the best innovations of the past couple of years. Just let that sink in for a second. The ability to create, to prototype, to actually manifest an idea is now completely decoupled from the ability to write syntax. A creator can finally just focus on creating. This is a profound shift in how we define who gets to be a builder in the digital space.
You no longer need to code to create. Wow. Design is going to be a much more accessible practice across the board. This is a massive, high-energy beat in our story today because it means the playing field is finally leveled. The gatekeepers of technical syntax, they aren't the sole proprietors of product creation anymore. If you're a business leader listening to this, it means all that untapped creative potential sitting within your non-technical staff has just been unlocked. The tools have literally finally caught up with human imagination.
Moving into our final section, Section 4, the business impact. Let's talk tangible ROI, time saved and energy conserved.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark before and after reality. For all the business leaders tuning in, this is where the rubber meets the road. Look at legacy workflows. They took massive amounts of time and totally drained energy. Doing things the old way leads directly to burnout and painfully slow release cycles. But contrast that with AI-augmented workflows powered by tools like Figma Make and Claude. Suddenly, you are producing new ideas rapidly. You aren't burning out on the friction of translation, you're pouring all that energy directly into ideation and execution. It is a massive, massive leap forward in operational efficiency.
So, the crucial point here is the tangible benefits for product teams. By making design accessible, you get to the end products faster, absolutely, but you also achieve higher quality. You get more ideas out into the world, you actually have the bandwidth to do more explorations. Because you aren't bogged down in the mechanics of coding every single prototype from scratch, your team can rapidly iterate and end up with the exact results they want. It's basically faster speed to market without sacrificing a single drop of quality. In fact, it completely elevates it.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to wrap up the explainer today. How would your product team operate if design was truly accessible to everyone with taste? If those technical bottlenecks just vanished tomorrow, what could your non-technical creators build? This partnership between Figma Make and Claude, it's not just some cool new feature. It is a fundamental reimagining of team dynamics and product velocity. I highly encourage you to take a hard look at your own workflows and ask yourself how empowering your non-coders could transform your entire business. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some incredible ideas for your teams.